Good morning, welcome to Songbird Homestead. I am Kimberly. I am a backyard-ish homesteader on just about 3/4 of an acre up in the town and area of Northeast Maryland. That's the town and that's where it's located, the northern part of Maryland, eastern part of Maryland, right up kind of near where Maryland, Delaware, and Pennsylvania meet. I've been here just a little over a year. I've been documenting my journey on YouTube for also maybe a little over a year and a half, I'd say. We've been gardening. We started gardening, I'm going to say 2019, although we did have a garden maybe, I don't know, 2014, 15, a one and done, if you will, but 2019, 2020, then we started really getting into, growing bed, building beds and all that. And then last year, we had decided before that, and last year was the time to make the move. So we moved from our little city line backyard property. And I do have pictures of that in older videos if you want to see that. But last year we were like, beginning of April of 2023, we're like, you know what, we should move. My husband said, call the realtor. I called the realtor. 8 weeks later, we settled on what is now our, really our dream. We love it here. It was a blank slate. And then it really was just a blank slate, yard, back, field area. We took the fence down and expanded the whole thing. And now here we are. And, we're still adding to it. Of course, I think you're always going to add to it and always, there's always going to be work to do. So, but anyway, we love it here. It is just after Labor Day. Labor Day was today's Labor Day, Monday, if you will. I'm off. I do work a full-time job, 40 plus hours a week. And we managed to do all this here, but I'm off today. I've had a nice 3-day weekend, which is, glorious. When you work full-time, having 3 days off in a row is a super treat for me. Of course, what am I doing today? I'm laboring. So what I'm doing, because it's Labor Day, the nights are getting, or the days are getting shorter, the nights are getting longer, the temperature's starting to drop just a little bit incrementally, which is news to my, excitement for my husband. He loves the fall. I'm a summer girl. I'm a Leo. I was born in August, so I like the summer. I'm starting to be over the bugs though, like the mosquitoes. I don't do well with bug bites, and the mosquitoes this year, they've just been driving me crazy. But regardless, we're going into fall, so I need to get my beds ready. What I have behind me, this is a bed that I'm gonna have my brassicas. So you're talking your broccoli, cabbages. I'm not doing cauliflower. Also Brussels sprouts. I have 2 kinds of Brussels sprouts that I'm really excited about. I have a red and I have a green variety that I got. Most of my seeds I get from Baker Creek. I do, I spread the wealth. I do Botanical Interest and Johnny Seed and a couple of the other ones. I like to spread the commerce around, if you will. Now I am working on saving seeds this year. I have some seeds that I'm going to be saving. So I've done that in the past, but I'm being a little more intentional about it this year. But regardless, this is going to be my brassica bed. Last year what happened was I put my brassicas in. I didn't cover them right away. The cabbage worms or cabbage moths laid eggs on them, and then even once I covered it, I still had a very small, I don't want to say infestation, but I did have them in there. So it was really, we really didn't get any. I do have a cabbage here that somehow ended up over here that grew under my zucchini, and I'll show that to you in a minute. But so what I'm doing now is I did plant my brassicas. I have them in a seed tray. They're about this tall, so I do want to get them in the ground soon. So what I'm doing today is I'm building. This is going to be my row cover. I did this last year, but again, I put it on too late, and the moths had already laid their eggs. So then I had cabbage worms that just feasted, which good for them, but then I didn't have any broccoli or cabbage or Brussels sprouts of my own for coming through the fall. The good thing about brassicas is they will withstand colder temperatures. They're good for the winter. You can go out here and cut 1 stalk of broccoli off. It's just my husband and myself here. Disclaimer: we do have 4 adult children. I was saying young adult children, and they are still young adults, but they're, oh gosh, we have two 30-year-olds and oh gosh, I don't want to get this wrong, two 30-year-olds, a 29-year-old, and then the baby, she is 26. So yeah, so they're adults. They're not even young adults as much anymore, but yeah, and then we have a grandson who is 7 and completely delightful. But yeah, anyway, regardless, it's just my husband and myself. So we are going to, you know, sometimes when we cut stuff, you know, cutting one stalk of broccoli or one head of broccoli is enough for us for one meal or for lunch or a salad or whatever. So yeah, this will be good. So it'll last all winter. We'll have stuff all winter long. Brussels sprouts. One of my goals is to have Brussels sprouts for Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know if I'm going to make it because it's well, it's not even the end of August. It's, you know, September, beginning of September 2nd is today. So I don't know, it's going to be close. But even if I just get a couple, right, you know, I don't know. Just my little baby goal. So anyway, so I figured I'd film this while I do it, in case anyone's wondering, you know, what to do about that. So what I have is PVC. Let me go ahead and, I have PVC. My husband helped me. Well, last year I cut it myself with a reciprocal saw. Let me get the camera. Hang on a minute. So here, this is the cabbage that I was telling you. That's a red cabbage. So this is the bed. This is where I had a couple of zucchini here, like 3 big zucchini plants, which is more than enough for 2 people. And then I had watermelon down there. I did leave that watermelon in there because I do have a little watermelon in there. But I can plant the broccoli around that until the watermelon's gone. But this, no, it's not quite stable yet. So what I started with, let's do this. So I started with, this is like an 8-foot PVC. I think this is 3/4 inch. I cut this, and this is so I'm gonna put these in the ground. And then this, and I'm simplifying it, but it really was this simple. This is some tubing that came in a big roll. I'd say for maybe $60, I was able to build this, and this will last me. One, I have more than enough that I needed, so I have enough for to do other beds. 2, it's gonna last forever. It's PVC, right? So I started with a couple 8-foots of this, 3/4 inch. When I bought it, I made sure that the tubing, and I was very, of course, intentional and deliberate, the tubing that I got, which this stuff came in a roll, all at Lowe's, I made sure that fit into the 3/4 inch that I got. And then I got a couple of these tees. I had these building things when I don't forget what it's called, these connecting straw game when I was a kid, and that's what this feels like. And then this, I think, is 1/2 inch. But again, I got the 1/2 inch tee. This is 1/2 inch here. And then this is 1/2 inch. So that way it all fits in together. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, and you can watch me play a little bit. So last year, this was in a different area. So I'm hoping that this is going to fit. It may not. But we'll see. So you're seeing truly the trial run. So I just have like I said, this is a tubing that I got. I did cut these on a slight angle, so when I put it in the ground, it goes in a little bit easier. So I just put that in there. Put this in here like that. And then I just push this into the ground. There we go. Now luckily this soil is, whoop, that one came out. Luckily this soil is relatively new. There we go. So, and then this tee, that's where I'm going to put the connecting piece. And actually, this already had it on there. These are not glued on there. Some people, I guess when you do plumbing, you glue PVC. I didn't do that because I want to be able to take these apart and rebuild them in different structures and all of that. So, let's see. Let me go down here. Very simple. I don't want this UPC. All right, I gotta redo this. I don't want that UPC on top. That's just weird like that. But look how fast that comes apart. Goes back in. All right, and then put this in. On with the UPC the way you want it. Boom, boom, boom. Now I did have to cut these. It's a little tricky getting this all set up the first time. Getting everything to line up correctly. Again, this doesn't look very graceful. Maybe with 2 people it would be a little easier. But this is the reality sometimes, guys, right? Come on. Stuff my watermelon. Just like that, I built my second one. Now one's higher than the other. If I could push this in a little bit more. Now I cut some of these. My husband did cut 2 yesterday, so I'm wondering if he cut them a little bit bigger than mine. But that's okay. So once and I do have another one I'm going to put in. Now that this is up, like I said, I'm going to get my baby plants. I'm going to plant them, and I have a netting, just a cloth. You know, like I buy tulle from the fabric store, Tulle. It's a very fine tulle. It lasts, you know, a long time. I'm going to cover that, and then I bought these clamps off of Amazon, and I will. Once the fabric's on there, they're 1/2-inch clamps. Be mindful of the size of things that you buy, just because they're different sizes, and sometimes you won't think about something like that until you go to do it and your clamp is too big or your pipe doesn't fit, that sort of thing. So that's always it's kind of a mistake that's, I mean, it's very easily done, so just be mindful of that. But once the fabric is on here, those clamps will hold all of this in place. So you won't get this action. This won't be happening, because right now that's what's happening. These are falling. But I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this other one. I don't know if the other one's gonna fit, to be honest. Like I said, we had these in a different area last year. But the area that they were in, that's where oh gosh, it's not very attractive. 1 second. Okay, so where these were last year, my garlic is going to go there this year. I do grow garlic from garlic that I grow garlic, I harvest it, I save it, and then next year I use those cloves to plant more garlic, so I don't ever have to grow garlic. But the bed that I use for my garlic, that's where these were last year. And then when that didn't work out with the cabbage worms, then I just decided to make that's going to be my permanent garlic. Well, I don't know about permanent. You do have to rotate stuff out sometimes. So this other side doesn't want to go in. Yeah. So what I'm seeing, I think the ones my husband cut are taller. Maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if one side's higher than the other one. But anyway, I'm hoping that these fit in this area. And what I mean by fit is this going to be too long? Yeah, it's just going to work. Just barely, but it's going to work. If it didn't, I could make some minor adjustments. I could move the one up. But something that I'm learning, that I'm working on, is not waiting until I'm learning to start early enough for stuff. Like sometimes I wait too late and I'm like, oh, you know, you have to be mindful, which is why it's good to write stuff down. As far as like when to start stuff, you know, I started these broccoli seedlings a couple weeks ago, and sometimes it's hard to think, okay, well, it's, you know, the beginning of August, I need to plant my winter stuff now, but that's what you have to do. Same thing when, you know, I'm ordering seeds in February. Sorry, my hair is all over the place. You can tell it's a little bit nicer out today because my hair's not pulled up. But yeah, you have to. It's a season, and you can't. You know, you have to plan and be ready for it. So I'm learning that. I'm working on that piece. But anyway, I just wanted to, you know, do a short little video on this. It might not look like, you know, it's not super fancy. I'm not super fancy. You know, I do real life, real homesteading. It's not always pretty. You know, but I get it done. And that's all that matters for me. But I just wanted to show you that, and hopefully that'll help someone out. Like I said, the cabbage worms, you know, really, I mean, I had no crop last year for brassicas, so this year I'm trying to get ahead of the game. And maybe they'll outsmart me this year, and then next year I'll be shooting a video about something else that I learned. But I'm going to do everything I can to hope, you know, like I said, put those Brussels sprouts on the table for Thanksgiving dinner. Thanks for stopping by Songbird Homestead. Have a great day. Enjoy, you know, whatever you have going on. Try to do it with a smile and with intention. You know, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out and watching me fumble through my homesteading journey, and I hope to see you again soon.